In those 5 minutes, I would have lost my independence. It's just crazy. Be able to move your truck. I have a ramp and I can't get it down. You're on the blue line. Thank you.
In today's video of America's worst drivers and worst parking violators, we're gonna see the police who think they're above the law. We're gonna see people using and misusing handicap parking placards that do not belong to them. And we're gonna see some of the worst parking jobs you will ever see in this country at some of our favorite places, including, you guessed it, Walmart.
Good thing your ramp deploy doesn't work because I'd be hitting that before I'm even around the corner. You're a good sport, babe.
Nah, you know what? I wish his ramp deploy button did work, and she hit the button as they came out without seeing it, and it came out and put a nice big old scrape, scratch, dent right down the side of that lady's SUV for parking where she parked, because now in this video you see exactly why parking there is complete BS. That young man needed that area to put his ramp down, maneuver his wheelchair, his, motorized chair around and get up into the van. And that's why we don't park, not only in the handicap spots so that he can have it, but in those crisscross lines, those angled lines, because that is where his ramp goes for him to be able to load in and load out of his vehicle. And that makes that Karen a complete douchebag. And not only did he park as a police officer in the handicap spot, he backed in. There's no emergency at the 7-Eleven, at the convenience store. There's no issue of him responding to a call. He backed in to go get his Slurpee and his hot dog and his taquito as a police officer, blocking the handicap spot for people that might need it. The same people that he swore an oath to protect and serve as a law enforcement police officer.
So some people are misbehaving with their placards?
Yes.
His answer was short and sweet, but his job, laborious. Allow me to introduce you to Lee Christensen. And his job?
This didn't take too long. These still have expiration dates.
Right.
So that's certainly expired. Has it been altered?
It looks like it has been altered.
It does look like it has been altered.
To drive around the Phoenix metropolitan area and look for people misusing disabled placards, which is a huge problem.
I will call Central Booking and give them this placard number and ask them for the expiration date.
Lee doesn't have a two-way radio, so every questionable placard he comes across, he must call it in.
Okay, what's the plate number?
0273.
And wait for the information to come back.
Patience is a virtue now.
While we're waiting for the information to come back, let's head over to Midtown Phoenix, where another problem has popped up.
My first indication is look at the number. You can see that the sun has bleached it out to the extent that it's invisible.
So while the last placard appeared to be altered, this car with the lift decal?
So we look at the punches on the bottom. It says July 2014.
Okay, this is a first for me.
Sometimes it seems that the Lyft and Uber drivers feel like they have an exception if they're just picking somebody up, but they have the same rules that everybody else does.
Believe it or not, the fine for using an expired placard is a lot less than using an altered placard. An expired placard still in use will set you back
$290.
However, altering a placard, well, let's go back to the beginning.
It comes back to expiration date of 4/30 of 2018.
Thank you very much.
That ticket will set you back, wait for it, $564. So the driver gets a ticket.
We always put it under the driver's windshield wiper so it won't blow away.
Ouch, $564. It's more expensive for the altered than the expired. Why? Because expirations happen, you forget, but altering means you purposely went through the process of trying to trick them and fool them. Double the fine almost. I love it. $564 is a very steep fine. I wish it would be $1,064.
In those 5 minutes, I would have lost my independence. It's just crazy. Be able to move your truck. I have a ramp and I can't get it down. You're on the blue line. Thank you. Oh. That would be an issue. So he's still there. Nice older gentleman, but I just don't understand what people don't get, that the blue line is there for a reason.
Why be so nice to him? Why? Why even give him the benefit of the doubt? And why blur out his license plate? License plates are public information. I so hate when people put pictures of cars or this or that on the internet and then they blur out the license plate. It is public. What do you think happens when you drive around with a dash cam and a car is in front of you and you get its license plate? Do you think that that's private, that you don't have a right to record that? It is public. I know that people have gone through life thinking that you can't film in a post office, you can't film on federal property, you can't film people's license plates, you can't film people in public. That is all false. It is all a lie, especially in 2026 with cameras everywhere. But even before 2026 and 2016 and way back, it is federal law, the First Amendment, right to press. Everyone has the right to press and the right to film in public, period. You can film a license plate and do anything you want with that. It is public information. Imagine if you have a photographic memory and you see a cool car and you take a picture of it with your mind and you remember that license plate. Are you not allowed to do that? My license plate is super public on my car and it is very well known because it has a vanity plate with a certain word on it. I'm not going to say the word because it doesn't matter. But it is something that people see and they never forget. Never. Like if somebody has a vanity plate that says cool Corvette, right? You're not going to forget that. You can't take a picture of it? You can't. Come on, guys. Use some common sense. Oh, and then he pulled out and backed right back into the same, or pulled right back into the same spot 6 inches over. What a clown. Oops, sorry, I scratched your car parked in the handicap ramp spot. Imagine if this was at a movie theater or at a restaurant or a mall or a sporting event where you can't just go in and say, hey, who owns the gray truck and come move it, right? No, you're at a sporting event with 20,000, 30,000 people, a hockey arena. You're at a mall with 5,000 people. You're at a restaurant, you know, like an open air shopping center with 20 restaurants. How do you get somebody to move? Now you're waiting an hour to be able to get in your car? No, that's psycho. I'm calling the tow truck and having it towed. I'm going to management of the shopping center and I'm telling them, I can't get in my car, tow this vehicle now, or I'm going to handle it.
I love it when someone parks like this in the handicap area, but they're not fucking handicapped. And you park in the blue side of it, right? Because you think to yourself, oh, you know, I'm doing them a service because, you know, they can still get in the parking spot. How the fuck, if they have a ramp, are they gonna open their car door for their ramp to come out and for them to be able to get out on their wheelchair? That's why it's called handicap. And you are not handicapped. I literally seen you walk in, but then at the same time, you literally fucking, you put on your fucking hazards. And then you're like, oh, okay, we're doing a service right here. We're okay to just park here because I want to run in and get my Starbucks. Absolutely not. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me when people do this shit, because just because you parked on the opposite end of the parking doesn't mean you're allowed to park there. Stop parking in handicap places, and hopefully you share this and you see this.
And stop trying to use your hazard emergency lights to say, these are my park anywhere lights. I can park and do what I want in the fire lane, in the handicap spot, simply because I turn on my hazard lights. Newsflash, spoiler alert, that's not what they're for. And it doesn't get you off of a ticket or out of a tow job. I think we should stop finding these people and just tow them. Literally just start towing these vehicles. Do you know how quick when somebody gets towed, they don't do it again? Some will because they don't care. Most people, when they get a fine, they just ignore it or they pay it because they got money or just whatever. But if you tow their vehicle and cost them hours out of their day where they have to call and get an Uber, get a ride, get to the tow yard, pay the money, pay the cash, get their car out, they will think twice about doing it again. All right, I'm gonna wrap this episode of People Parking Like Douchebags up. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed all the videos on this channel. If you haven't seen them, go back and watch the last few videos. They are fire. A lot of people loving the parking videos, and the road rage video as well did very well. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about people who park like this, and if you've ever had experience with them. And what should happen to these folks? Should they get bigger fines, $1,000? Should they be towed? How do you think these should be handled? And until next time, I appreciate you being here. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.